Fellas, ladies, you looking for lotions? You looking for beard oils? But unfortunately, everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you. No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, BOTTU. The U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.
Go too loud, laugh, make the whole night something. Hands up, don't panic, we came for the win. Flow start shaking when the crew walk in. Say it one time and say it again. If you know, we don't need pretend. OG Network, round opinions don't matter.
Fat that chula.
Make the whole place shatter. OG Network, OG, tell them who the king is.
Chula, fat that chula.
Every mouth get fearless. Chrome on the smile and the crowd get louder. Talk slick online, steal your foe when we around your firearm Friday. Heavy on the chest, not a game, not a test. So we the loudest in the West. Ron got a lot to say, but we never need that. We in the front row where the real ones react. Fat that chula grand like he know the whole script. OG Network stamp, put it all on the wrist. Hands up, don't panic, we came for the win. Flow start shaking when the crew walk in. Say it one time, then say it again. If you know, we don't need pre. OG Network. OG Network, round opinions don't matter.
Fat that chula.
Make the whole place shatter. OG Network, tell them who the king is.
Fat that chula.
Every mouth get fearless.
Man, welcome to Fire on Friday, everybody. Welcome to Fire on Friday. We appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hitting that like button, subscribe button, and notification button. That way you get notified every time.
Yes.
I hear something, man, like I be banging these songs in my car, and I know people be looking at me like, what in the world is he listening to?
Like, we ain't never heard that stuff coming out of a car.
Right. So I listen to a lot of it in my car sometimes, and I know people be like, what is he listening to? I ain't never heard that song before. But yeah.
Introduce them to it. This way they can subscribe to the channel.
Make sure y'all hitting the like button, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate it very, very much. Welcome to Fire on Friday with me and my brother, Fat Tatula. Once again, we in the building, getting ready to talk about.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what we're going to talk about. I ain't going to lie to y'all. I was being lazy. I was being a no good fool. What's up, Split Mind Media? How you doing? I was being a no good fool. I wasn't even doing my homework, nothing. I have no idea what's going to happen on the show today. I'm being honest with y'all. Real talk. I was too busy vacationing, fishing, doing everything else.
No.
Feeding fish. All right, Jay. Leave it alone. Feeding fish.
No. You forgot you posted a lot of videos while you was out on vacation? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I was catching everything but fish.
Exactly. I'm still waiting for the explanation of how you caught the damn bird out the sky.
I caught a crab.
You know, I told somebody that the other day. They said, what the hell did he use that he caught a crab on a fishing line?
Hey, man, who fish like me? Nobody fish like me. I catch everything with my fishing rod. I catch birds. I catch crabs. You should have seen it. Listen,
everything
one time
but fish.
I caught a knife. It was a switchblade too.
I didn't know about that one, but okay.
Yeah, I left it out there though. I left it out there though. I was like, that might be a murder weapon. I ain't touching that.
I think you may have to. I think you have to switch this up by going fishing. You might have to go fishing for other things now, like that other guy.
Jay,
content creator I follow.
I don't know how it was a knife, switchblade knife that was caught on my line. I pulled it up, and it don't look like it was that long, been in there that long. I was like, oh, I ain't touching that. I was like, that looks like a murder weapon. I don't know.
Well, damn, it's funny. Funny you mentioned that. That's one of our topics tonight. I kid you not. It's one of our topics tonight about knives. Yes. Wow. I tell you about that knife. It's just something about you that you always have somewhere, some form that you always know what we're gonna talk about, even though you tell everybody you don't know, but you always have.
I really
a way
don't
to,
be knowing though. I mean,
But
it's,
how
in
is
all
it that-
honesty, I really don't be knowing. I really don't be
It's
knowing.
really
I
hard.
just
It's hard. It's hard because we've been, we talk about a whole lot of stuff
right.
every other day or every other time we get on the phone. We never really talk about what we're going to do on Firearm Fridays because we want to keep it a surprise at the same time for both of us to give that real kit and caboodle, meat on the bones talk about the situations, which I like a lot. Right? And of course, everybody who's watching, always like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button because it tells us that we actually bringing some content that people are really interested in.
There you go.
So we got to understand that we're always talking about the Second Amendment, and I keep pushing the 14th Amendment because a lot of people forget about it. Now, first and foremost, before I forget, I apologize. Thank you very much for taking some time off for yourself. That is a very, very important thing. Okay, because you took off last Friday, you had some time to yourself. Hopefully, you were able to regenerate yourself and, get back to the nonsense of life and have some fun on the shows. So,
yeah, man, I had a good
that's
time.
what,
I was trying to go to jail, but it didn't work.
Are you trying to create content for my channel? I'm just asking.
No, I'm.
You said you wanted to go to jail. That's creating content for my channel. I'm just saying. I can look. I would definitely find you getting arrested in wherever state you're in, and put that content on my reaction videos. Don't play around.
That'd be hilarious. That would be hilarious.
It would be. Because I already found one video. I don't want to put I don't want to put it out there, but it's going to shock a lot of people. There's going to be not this coming Sunday. It's going to be the following Sunday because I have them lined up already.
No, okay.
That following Sunday is going to be. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, and it's based off of content creators.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you go ahead, but I'm gonna let you go ahead. We'll get into that another time, another day. But because we got the show, we got to get on with the show. I know people come.
Yeah, we got to get on with our Firearm Friday show. Everything else,
I'm trying to stay out of my shenanigans because I get.
Stop moving the goalposts, as Out the Pit would say.
I'm sorry. I'm still on vacation mentally.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. You were well overdue for a vacation, brother. You were well overdue for vacation. So it's all right. So
who we got today, bro?
All right, hold on now. Let's talk about something between you and I real quick. We know we talk about the Second Amendment, right? And we talk about the Second Amendment pertaining to government tyranny, right?
Right.
And I recently jumped inside the bandwagon with the government tyranny, and I realized that it's actually true, right? And I had somebody ask me I did a reaction video a few days ago, and they asked me why did I mention government tyranny when it dealt with law enforcement. And I'm like, do you really? Are you just basically that naive about why on Fridays, Brother Ron and myself, we emphasize the Second Amendment and the 14th Amendment and the right to bear arms? You really don't follow my channel like that, do you? And the person's like, no, I do. I said, no, you don't. I said, no, you don't. And I turned around and I was like, I said, well, you got to understand that the police department is ran by a commissioner, which the commissioner's boss is the mayor, and the mayor sits inside this building that's called the local government.
That's why I just had to laugh, and I'm like, but you know what? I mean, I'm in all honesty, I think a lot of people are very naive. All right, let me backtrack a little bit. They are naive, but I think a lot of time people are so used to just kind of living their life, and they never give attention to this stuff.
Right.
And I think this is in my head, and I think what ends up happening is we have a naive perception of everything is okay because we just trusting that people are doing what they're supposed to do.
Right.
And in the reality, slowly but surely, they don't even realize what's really going on. Like they don't, you know what I'm saying? Like warning comes before destruction, right? So you get all these small warnings. And then when it really hits you, you just like, wait a minute, I didn't know that was going to happen. Yeah, you knew. You just kept ignoring them. Like, here's my point.
Right.
Let's say you're driving
Right.
down the road. Speed limit, 55.
Right.
You doing 75.
Right.
You get a mile away, another speed sign say 55 miles per hour.
Right.
Fines double. Obstruction, all that. You see all these signs, right? And you just keep doing what you doing. And then, now you pulled over. And you like, oh, what? You know how fast you was going? Speed limit. Well, last time I seen a sign that was saying speed limit 70. Yeah, but it dropped down to 55 and you just kept ignoring all those signs, huh?
That's right.
And now you at the point of destruction, meaning now you're going to pay the penalty for not obeying or reacting to all the signs that you saw. And this is what I mean by government tyranny is that what Jay and I are talking about when it comes to government tyranny is that when you see a politician says, oh, we need to limit the capacity in your magazine. Now, so to somebody that looks like what? Oh, okay, that's not a big deal. But are the government limiting their capacity in their magazines?
Facts.
See my point? They're not, the government ain't getting rid of the tanks. They ain't getting rid of all of the equipment. They're getting advanced equipment while they're telling you what you can't have.
That's right.
So that's why I say they don't. But sometimes you're like top to bottom says you're kind of complacent because you don't think these things through. But history wise, and this is where it gets very, very interesting. Historically wise, that's how people got caught in the government tyranny is because they sat back and they did not see all of the signs prior, or they ignored all the signs. When Hitler was trying to get them, he said, oh, we have a gun. Let's do the gun, turn in your guns. You don't need them. The government's going to protect you. And a lot of the Jews started doing what? They were turning their firearms, this and that. And the ones that didn't, he went and got that gun registry. And guess what he did with that? He went and started took the police officers door to door and started confiscating firearms. And the next thing you know, they was in concentration camps. So if y'all think that that's not possible, this is why we talk the talk that we talking. And this is why we try to make people aware of don't trust the government to protect you.
No.
It's your job to protect you. And these small little things that y'all keep seeing these politicians saying that they act like it's to help you. And in reality, it's not. It's a virtual signal. Oh, if we get the automatic weapons off the street, people are dying from automatic. No, they're not. You're lying. They're dying because we got murderers on the street. That's why they die.
That's right.
They had nothing to do with the gun. That's just one of the weapons.
That's right.
People, I hear people say, well, Canada don't have a gun problem. Yeah, they do. They have a knife problem. You go look at how many people die by way of knife. They just stopped using guns and start using the knives. In all these places, same thing in Japan. They say this stuff about Japan and all these other places. Y'all don't look at it. They still doing this. So when y'all keep thinking they telling y'all it's safe, it's really not safe. They just picked another weapon to do the same damage. That's
right.
Go ahead, bro.
And or even more damage. Because if you take a rock or a boulder and you put it in a sock and a bunch of more little boulders, more little rocks in there, that's quite dangerous. So then you turn around and you use a car, a truck, a rake, an axe, a machete. I mean, it's it's really ridiculous how society believes that gun laws, we need to be more strict on gun laws. No, you keep failing to understand that it's not the gun that kills people; it's people who kill people. That's the bottom line. And until society starts realizing that, it's going to become a big problem. It's going to become a big problem because they want to keep saying, you want to restrict the gun. Okay, well, then you need to restrict everything. You need to restrict the gun, the knife, the spoon, the fork. I mean, treat it just like a jail. or prison, because in jail and prison they don't let you have anything that can create a shank. That's what they call it, right? And
But
they
what ends
take
up
away
happening in
everything
jail?
that they-
It's funny because with all of the stuff that they take away from jail prisoners, they still find a way to make another weapon.
They do. So what does that tell you? So you can, we can live in a society that keeps putting these restrictions on guns and all that. And dang it, I just remembered the other thing I had to look for as I was saying it. So
Yeah.
we have to start realizing that gun laws, as much as people say the gun laws are needed, the first thing you need to do is you need to get rid of the person who keeps saying we need to restrict the guns. We need to have more gun laws. Those are the people you need to get rid of, because those are the people who are stopping citizens from the right to bear arms, the right to protect themselves, property, and so forth.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, if you're not able to look, I don't mean to call anybody out. No, matter of fact, I do mean to call people out. I'm gonna change my. Ant Like the Bug, good brother. Ant Like the Bug the other day put up a video that he had called 911 by accident.
Right.
But he let it keep going. Now, here's the worst part about that scenario, that situation. Comes back to government tyranny. Right? If Ant Like the Bug, he put it out there, so I'm gonna say it. He put it out there. Ant Like the Bug mistakenly dialed 911,
right,
and timed them on the time frame it took for the police to get to his house. He said it took 8 minutes.
Right.
8 minutes. Ron, we both know. Little nephew out the pit.
What's about the pit?
Always a pleasure to see the little nephew. Thank you for sliding on through. If it takes 8 minutes for the police to show up in Ant Like the Bug's neighborhood, we know, between you and I, with a specific weapon, we can actually obliterate the whole damn neighborhood before the police even show up.
Yep. And you know what's funny? I agree with you. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
No. You go ahead, because it gives me a moment to find out that other topic I had to look for.
All right. So, to Ant Like the Bug's credit, the reason why he was surprised about the 8 minutes because he's from the city of Philadelphia, and that 8 minutes would not have happened in the city of Philadelphia. If they would have called the police in the city of Philadelphia, they would have showed up at his house 36 hours later. And I ain't even joking about it. That's not even a joke. Listen, I'll give you a prime example. My mom, one time, somebody, I don't know what happened, but I get a phone call, somebody threw something through my mom's window. Okay. And, I'm on my way. Like, she said she called the police, right?
Right.
Now, I'm a ways away. I got a long drive to get to where my mom is at.
Right.
It can end up being over an hour, right?
Ooh, wow. Okay.
I got there before the police.
Say it again.
I got there before the police. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm glad they called me immediately, so I don't know what it was about, and I did my own homework beyond that, but I got there before the police got there. Matter of fact, I got there, cased the neighborhood. I'm just really cased the neighborhood.
Okay.
Went back to the house.
Okay.
And the police still wasn't there.
Oof.
I went back out. Started asking questions. Came back again. Police was still there. Still wasn't there.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that gives you an idea how bad it could have been, because I don't know how serious that could have ended up being in the city, with my mom. Eventually I found out what it was about. It was a bunch of kids, and it wasn't nothing like targeting my mom. It's just kids being kids. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because my, but that's what it was. It wasn't like I wanted to make sure there was no real danger. You know what I mean? But once they
Right.
seen how I came through the neighborhood and what was, that problem went away real quick.
And the worst part is the problem went away because it was you. It wasn't even the police. Because it was you. So
my next door neighbor was like, my mother's neighbor was like, he was like, yeah, he said, he don't know me because they not too long ago moved there. But he was just like, he was like, yeah, he said, man, he said, I see you come by here, man. You always got a smile on your face and everything. He said, that was the only day I never seen you smile. He said, you walked in the house, came back out the house. He said, but he said, I knew you didn't have it in your hand, but I saw you had something because I seen that shirt. He was like, man, it's about to get real around here. And here's the thing. When the cops finally came to the house, whatever case may be, guess what I still had with me? I don't like, that's my mom's house. She decided rather they come in or not. I'm not inviting nobody. Listen, I don't let police come in my house. Y'all can sit outside and talk. I just don't trust them to the point where I let them in. But that's my mom's house. She let them come in. She wanted to talk to them in the house. That was fine.
Okay.
But again, I had mine. And they looked at me. They saw it. They knew that I had something. Hey, look. They looked at me like, right. Ain't nothing they can say about it.
Nothing they can say about it.
My thing is this: if y'all don't take care of it, if it's something that I need to handle, then I'm gonna have to handle it. You know what I mean? Like I don't want nobody to think that it's like my mom is just like. Don't get me wrong, my brother and them, they on their way. They're closer. My family members are closer. It's just that at that time I was the one that was free and I was on my way.
And good thing is that you used the right word. You were free. So you was a free man at that moment.
Yeah, I was the one that was available. They were actually at their jobs at the time, and I was
right.
I'm on my way. That was it.
I hear you,
but it's all good.
But that brings a big question. So when it comes back to protecting you, again, the Second Amendment, which is allowing you to carry your firearm because that's your given right to protect yourself. And then, of course, the 14th Amendment, protect yourself against property, and again, protect your property and protect everything that you own from others that want to take it. Right. So when we look at these amendments and these laws that are actually governed by the totality of governments, not your local and not your states, because they keep violating that rule. So it's bad when you try and explain these things to society, and society keeps putting a blind eye and saying, no, we gotta look the other way. We gotta protect, we gotta find a way to protect ourselves differently. But who's protecting you from the criminal? If it takes law enforcement 8 minutes to get to somebody's house, and over 20 minutes to get to somebody's house, as you just described, how can you have trust in law enforcement to protect you when that's their job? There is not a police car or law enforcement vehicle that's on the road that does not have the word protect on it.
And my thing is, they don't protect. The reality of it is they don't listen. As much as, and I've said this before, as much as the police would love to be there in the moment, it's damn near impossible. Unless they just happen to be patrolling by in the moment that something happened. That's the only way that they'll actually be able to be there in the moment.
True. And at time, you keep freezing up.
Now,
Ronnie,
I'm freezing up.
Hit the commercial and knock yourself out, get yourself back in. We can't.
Yeah, I'm gonna reset, but I don't even think that's gonna work. But we'll see. We're going to commercial, and we will be. Wait a minute, what the heck is going on? Yeah.
I don't want to see you. I want to see you freezing like an old karate movie.
Too late, frozen.
And I keep seeing the light blinking up in your house. I'm starting to think that you got some Temu bulbs going on over there.
Yeah, Jay, if you can hear me, hit the refresh. I mean, hit the commercial because it's not letting me.
What in the Sam here?
Fellas, ladies, you looking for lotions? You looking for beard oils? But unfortunately, everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, BOTTU, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.
All right. As we wait for Brother Ron to return, we definitely having some technical difficulties going on. I don't know if the weather up by him is jacked up or not, but we're definitely going to give Ron a moment. There he is.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. There's always something here.
So let me ask you this question, Ron.
Yeah.
Can we rely on law enforcement any longer?
I think law enforcement's job is just to come clean up the mess that you leave behind.
There you go. That's a great way to put it. And I think you're absolutely right, and I'm gonna agree with you on that one. Because in all honesty, that's what they need to do. They need to clean up. And
Well,
now,
honestly, that's really, if you really think about it, their job is to protect and serve. So what it says on the thing. But honestly, I think that's where we miss it at, is that the police can't be there in that moment. Where you need seconds, they're gonna be there in minutes. So when they come, their job is to just sort out what happened and to diffuse the situation. That's the protect part, meaning diffuse it, separate everybody, lock up everybody that needs to go to jail, and let the court sort out what happened, blah, 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 all the evidence, blah, 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 blah. But in the reality of it is, it's almost impossible for the police to be there in that moment that somebody, that's just why I say it's so essential that you need to have something with you just in case something happened in the moment. And even with having something with you doesn't guarantee that you're going to be good, because the person might already have the drop on you. But I'd rather have something with me to possibly defend myself, because even with those few seconds, if they turn their head 1 second, I might be quick enough to draw and get myself ready. I don't know. But I'd rather have something with me in that moment than to just sit there and wait for the police to show up. And if you talk to some police officers, they say they wish they could be in the moment. They wish that they was riding by at the moment you're about to get robbed. But that's not reality. Real reality is a person is already there. They already in the moment. And if you don't have nothing to defend yourself in that moment, rather it's a gun, knife, whatever, you know what I mean? Hands, whatever you got to do, you got to do. But this is why you don't let the politicians dictate what weapons you have access to protect your life. Because they're not exercising the very thing they keep trying to tell you to do.
You're right.
They'll say limit your capacity. Meanwhile, they got all of this security around them. But they want you to not have limit your capacity around you.
Right.
So,
you know,
let me know when you're ready, Jay.
Go ahead.
But
let's talk about something real quick, because I came across a story, and I want your opinion on this one. Because it comes back to what we're talking about here. Recently, I came across a news article where a woman was being robbed by two guys on motorcycles. Okay. Two different guys. They were making believe they were delivery guys. They had that big lunchbox bag on the back, and they're two separate guys, two separate motorcycles, and they roll up on this woman. She's sitting in the car, and they held her at gunpoint. She gets out the car. They grab her purse. As she got out the car. But what they didn't realize is that she pulled the gun out of her hip and she shot them, both of them. I agree. That was great. Now she got charged with manslaughter, or murder rather. They upscaled it to murder because she took an additional 4 shots into the guys.
I don't get it. Why? What's the problem? They will never rob or steal from nobody again. She just saved everybody money.
I totally agree. Now, where I also agree is where what they said, how they deemed it, is that they were already incapacitated by being on the ground bleeding. By her pumping an additional 4 shots, it was excessive. I'm like, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be that way.
All right, let me ask you a question.
All right.
And this is me. If they wouldn't have never tried to rob her or take anything from her, they escalated. They created the moment that she had to use that firearm. So when they're saying it's excessive, so you feel sorry for the people that listen, if they would have never tried to steal the pocketbook in the first place, they wouldn't have never got shot. So they made it worth it when they attempted to do what? Take her purse. See, the thing is, they didn't know she had something. So my thing is this: why is it that I don't understand why these judges and stuff are trying to feel sorry for the people that are out there committing crime? To me, this is just me. There shouldn't have never been a charge. They shouldn't have never did what they did. She did the right thing. Guess what? They did, and she's here. Because you don't know how far they would have went. Here's the thing. You said there were 2 men, right?
Yep.
All right, let's take the gun out of the equation. Just take the gun. Let's say she didn't have a gun. How do you think that would have played out? 2 men, and let's say she tried to fight back and say she tried to pull her purse and get it back. And they decided to beat her down.
Right.
You think she would have survived that beat down?
Absolutely not.
Right. So why in the world would we feel sorry for 2 men who looked for her as a victim, an easy target? Because that's what they thought. She was an easy target. And then they became a target after they thought she was an easy target. And now, so my thing is just, they shouldn't have never been charged. In my opinion, they shouldn't have been charged anything. And she shouldn't have never been charged with anything. Because they shouldn't have never tried to rob her. Guess what? She here to tell a story. They not.
That's right. That's right. And they won't be able to rob anybody else ever again.
Yep. Exactly. She did a better job than the police.
She sure did, because that goes back again on how the police don't show up in time. Right. Perfect example. Now, here's an interesting story for us here. We know, you and I both know about protection of our property, protection of our loved ones, protection of the stuff that we break sweat to get. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we also talk about how in many places, you're not allowed to take your firearm into certain buildings. Right?
Yeah.
Now, I want to play this video, and I want you to give me your best advice on it. All right?
Kill them all. So no, go ahead.
Tradition Square, one of the places where the Tradition Community Association now bans firearms, whether carried openly or concealed. On a Friday evening in Tradition, families and children fill the square.
We come like 3-4 times a week.
Ida Terra and her husband just learned of the new gun policy.
It makes me feel safer.
The Tradition Community Association approved a new rule that prohibits someone from carrying a firearm or other weapon in Tradition's common areas. Santiago Mejia has mixed feelings about the rule.
My initial reaction was like, I'm kind of supported, but then thinking later on, based on what's happening lately, if someone has a firearm, I kind of support the idea of someone having a firearm, because they can do more good than bad.
The rule applies to everyone, including those with concealed carry permits, and covers places like Town Hall, Tradition Square, the gazebo, parks, trails, and stormwater areas.
I am very happy with that, because recreation areas like Tradition should provide first the safety from everybody. Who are coming here? The family, young family with kids.
The Tradition Community Association says its bylaws allow them to set and enforce rules in their area. But Port St. Lucie Councilman Anthony Bona calls the move an infringement on Second Amendment rights and plans to fight it. Port St. Lucie police say they enforce state law, not HOA rules, and fully support constitutional rights. They add these new policies aren't criminal violations and won't be enforced by PSLPD. Meanwhile, residents like Mejia hope to see the resolution refined.
Maybe they can maybe walk it back and say, okay, if you have a permit, just have it, but conceal.
Cassandra Garcia, WPTV News.
Okay.
The level of stupidity. But all right, so here's the thing. And listen, and when you listen to these people, this is what I mean by how naive we are as people. Now, of course, this is the virtual signaling that I keep telling people about. What did these people say to their interview? Oh, I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea, right? This is how stupid they are. Now, meanwhile, a criminal is looking at this like, oh man, this is opportunity. Here's a place where I can go rob everybody. Ain't nobody got no weapons. And guess what? They just mentioned it on the news. That means I know exactly where to go. The news just told me where I can go when no one's allowed to have a weapon because I'm not a law-abiding citizen. They are. They the dummies. I'm not a law-abiding citizen. I'm going to go there with my firearm. How in the world is that stupid rule going to stop a criminal? Like, he going to look at this. He going to look, oh, I'm not allowed to have. No, that's opportunity. That is opportunity. That's what that does. That's exactly what any level, any small-minded criminal going to say, here is a whole bunch of victims that's going to have now an opportunity for me to go there and rob everybody because they can't even conceal carry. You see how stupid that sounds? Now, here's what they didn't do. So they say you can't have a firearm, right? So why, right, if they cared that much about the people, did they say they're going to hire in security and have them there all 24/7 to make sure y'all good?
They didn't say nothing to that.
They had so my point is,
yeah. Hold on. I think based off of the place that they mentioned, I believe it has a security booth before you drive into the area. That I believe they have
a booth. Yeah, that's going to stop a whole lot. And my thing is this: as tragic as it is, why do you think people go to schools and start shooting up schools? Because they know the chances of somebody being there with a weapon is next to none. None. But guess where most people don't go? Listen, if you know a place got a lot of people with firearms, good guys with firearms, good women with firearms, guess what never gets done there?
That's
you see
true.
My point? Like,
now,
if you know that there's
go ahead.
Let's say you go, there's a place that got armed security. Now, I'm not saying it can't happen there, but usually it doesn't happen in there. It happens outside somewhere away. Why? Because they don't want to be dealt with. You get what I'm saying? So, but if you look at these places when they keep trying to act like this is to protect people. No, you just put everybody in that community in harm's way. Because somebody looking at that whole situation right there and saying, wow, you just gave me a clean slate out there with nobody defending themselves.
Nobody. And you see, that is actually in Florida. So
this is how stupid people. I just think that was the dumbest thing I ever heard.
And it unfortunately is happening in a lot of states. I just picked Florida because
you would never believe it.
Yeah, and Florida is like where I'm at in the Carolinas, where we big on the Second Amendment.
Right.
Period. There is no. I'm gonna hide it. No, I'm not gonna leave. No. It's staying on my hip until I'm finished my route for the day, whatever it is. Whether I'm picking my nose, shitting on the toilet, it don't matter, right?
And you know what I think it is? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Nope.
You know what I think it is? These people that make these dumb decisions have never been in a neighborhood where crime happens a lot.
I'm gonna second that, and I'm gonna piggyback off that.
They grew up in a world that it was just so beautiful. Nothing ever happens here until it happens. Now here's my point to that. If you look historically wise, when people have firearms in certain communities by the massive, the crime rate was drastically low. The murder rate with firearms was drastically low. The minute they started adding in restrictions, it went up. Chicago, hard to get firearms, crime went up. Philadelphia, hard to get crime went up. New York, hard to get firearms, crime went up. Los Angeles, hard to get firearms, crime went up. Everywhere you look across the United States, if you took out all of the blue cities that have these stupid gun laws out of the United States, we would be the third safest country in the world as it relates to firearms.
And I have to agree with you. I really do have to agree with you. Now, there is a flip side to what we're talking about.
Uh-oh.
Now, as you heard, that is a community of homeowners that live in that area, traditional, and the owners of the property, because all these houses are built on someone's property,
right?
And that property is considered private, but it has a whole bunch of homeowners living on that property. So the owners of the land said, nope, you cannot come on this property with a gun. I don't care about the 2nd and 14th Amendment. No, I don't care about that. And all the people who live there that had bought their houses, hold on now, let me finish here. All those people that bought their houses, $300,000, $400,000, maybe $500,000, maybe $200,000. Let's go with the medium number of $400,000. So everybody that bought a $400,000 house now in that community cannot carry their firearm. The minute they go past the gate to go onto the property, they have to hide their guns. Their friends and family and guests cannot even come onto the property with guns. They can't go sit outside over by the gazebo to take pictures because they can't carry their guns. That means that the gun is either inside somebody's house or inside somebody's car, which comes back again to the criminal that doesn't abide by the law, breaks into somebody's car. Now they got another gun. Now they could get, they go run out and do another crime. And or they break into somebody's house because they know that the gun is in the house, but they see the people outside. So they break into the house and steal a gun from inside the house. And then here comes the great part. There's an HOA. That means that the owners of the property can increase the HOA because crime has gotten higher, and they turn around and say it's to create or hire more security. So we need to increase your HOA fees so we can hire. So
more security
now,
to keep you guys safe. When you could have just said, keep your guns. Y'all good.
Right. But see, now the property owner considers it private property, and they can dictate how it works and charge the people for living there more money. So now they get double rich. Go ahead.
You know what I would do? If someone was to break in my house and then break in my house, I would sue them. I would take the owner to court and sue them. And they say, well, why are you taking them to court? Because if I wouldn't have never had left my house, if they wouldn't have never put that rule in place, I could have had my firearm and I could have put a stop to it. But y'all put us in harm's way. So therefore, I blame them. Because they put on the news that we wasn't allowed to have our firearms. And therefore, it encouraged the criminals to criminals saw it on the news and realized that, hey, we're unprotected. Now, I'm not saying I would have won, but I would have made that argument.
So we could definitely can we agree on this one that increases the crime inside the community?
Yeah, it works well. They're gonna hire security, inflate the amount of money that they pay, that they're gonna draw out of you. A small portion of that is gonna go to security, meaning he's gonna be somebody at the booth without a gun, without anything to protect you. He's gonna have a whistle.
A whistle and a nightstick. You're gonna be like Craig. You're gonna be like Craig with a flashlight.
Not like security, Craig.
And by the time that security guy makes it to the house, that house has already been robbed.
He gonna have a half a can of mace already. Right? He gonna have a half a can of mace that was.
It's. I understand the concept. Yeah, well, let's look at it. Let's flip the coin, Ron. Let's flip the coin. That is the smartest thing for a property owner to make more money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
Because now I'm going to charge you more money because you have your house on my property. I want to charge you more money and give you the false idea that I'm protecting your property by hiring 2 security guards. So I'm gonna charge each. Hold on, watch. Let's do simple mathematics here. We got 100 houses inside that community.
Right.
Each house is paying $2,000 a month for HOA fees. Now I'm going to increase it to $3,000 a month and hire an extra security guard. That's only going to cost me maybe $2,000 a month, maybe $2,000 a month. But I got 100 houses paying me $3,000 a month increase. Is he not? Are they not smart?
Right. Here's the thing: they're very smart. I mean, and it's not a new idea. That's exactly what the politicians do in these blue cities. That's exactly what they do. Keep the crime rolling so that we can get more government funding to fight crime.
Right.
That's why we keep letting them out and keep it rolling. Why? That's why the judges want to keep their jobs. All these DAs and all these police, we want to keep all these jobs rolling. So we got to keep them rotating in and out of the prison. Why? So we keep making money. That's all.
Which comes back to government tyranny.
And then we make the crime rate go up. Property value goes down. They get their homies to come in and buy it next to nothing. And then they clean up the problem. And then they moving on to someone else. And it's a vicious cycle all over again. Greed.
That's right. That's right.
And you know what? And people live in those communities. They vote for the very same people and end up with the very same problem. And they never realize that they just part of that same rotation. And it's never going to go away as long as you stick to that program.
Exactly.
Ones that act like they're there for you. Right.
It's a shame that it's happening in so many different states. And the worst part for me is this. This is just me. This is what I see it. The more communities where people have their homes, where they're paying mortgages and so forth, or maybe they mortgage, maybe they own the home outright. For me, it's more devastating because now you are giving an inch to government tyranny to turn around and say, well, if it's working inside this community, we can now inflate the idea across the state. And now everybody that lives in the state would maybe, just maybe, be hindered not to carry a firearm either. I'm just saying.
And they can try it, but it ain't going to work because it never has.
Well, I know it ain't going to work.
Right now, there's a criminal looking at the news of every same thing that you put up there and of everything saying to themselves, there's an opportunity. See, people don't realize how deep people who scheme and live like that are. They really put everyday time and effort looking for opportunities like this. And when they see something like that, that's the very thing that they're looking for. The best thing that they're going to look for, and you know how they say a gun-free zone is a place to start robbing people.
This is
so
true.
All of these, if it did not work in the cities that say, oh, we need tougher gun laws, we need stricter gun laws, they did it, and the crime got worse.
So let me move on to the next. Let me move on to the next thing so we can have a little talk because it's going to tie into the next part right here. So if you live in a community or a person lives in a community and they turn around and say, well, you're not able to carry a firearm on the property anywhere because we don't believe in you protecting yourself, then I would say go get this.
These may look like ordinary knives to you, but they are not. They are actually firearms. This one's chambered in 22 long rifle, and this one is chambered in 25 ACP. They are pretty interesting. To load it, you push this button, the whole thing opens up, and you load your rounds into that cylinder. Then once you're all loaded up, you close that, and then to fire it, you turn this little lever, trigger pops down. If you look right here, the barrel is right above the blade, and then you can hold it like this or upside down and pow, pow, pow until you're empty. Whoever said don't bring a knife to a gunfight had never heard of the Milligun knife.
I'll be right back. I'm going to go get me one.
So, big old thanks to Kentucky Ballistics for presenting that. Big old shout out to them.
Very interesting. I've been following them for a while. I just never saw that video.
You know, that was one of the coolest knives I've ever seen in my life. I mean, really, the moment you close it up, huh?
I don't celebrate Christmas, but I do take Christmas gifts. That makes a nice Christmas gift for Ron. The opinion don't matter. Preferably 2.
I don't celebrate no damn holiday. You still can get me one. I don't care. Just get me one out of GP.
It might be somebody that feel real Christmassy.
Hell, look, just support my Cash App. Why not? And I'll get it, and I'll just buy it. It's the coolest shit out there. It is the coolest thing out there. It really is.
I like
and that right there, because it doesn't say you can't carry a knife.
I gotta go.
So if I'm carrying it, you're gonna automatically believe it's a knife, and unless you know about it, you don't know where that projectile came from. But the person is leaking on the ground.
I like it. But this ain't no gun. It's a knife. Look, knife.
That's it.
Knife.
What are you talking about? It's. But there's no blood on it. Then I don't know why he got hit with. I just went like this. I went like this, and he went on the ground, and he started leaking. That's all I can say. I saw it. That's all I can say. I don't know nothing. You said can I have gone on my property? So I had this. I went like this. I showed him the tip, and he lay down, bleed. Oh, oops. I don't know. Real simple. That's the greatest thing ever. Now, I gotta move. I gotta move a little faster now. You just said that you are a fan of Kentucky Ballistics.
Yeah, I watch his show. Watch his YouTube channel a lot. I don't know why I missed that one. Well, there's a lot of stuff he has on this thing I've never saw, but I've been following for quite a while. He's funny.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because this one's going to hit close to home. This one is going to hurt you in every possible way. Okay? And I'm going to apologize to you. Ron, I love you like a brother from another mother. I really do. And I got your back. There's very few people that I would tell them that I got their back. And I would really mean it, because I don't like nobody saying it to me and they don't come through. I will come through. Like I told you the other day, you go do what you got to do by, that situation. I'm going to be there for you, and I'll take a flight up there or drive up there. It's only 7.5 hours if I'm doing 90 miles an hour. So I'll get there in time.
I got such concern on my head because I know what he does. And he loves to do this stuff to me. And now my head is just spinning because I'm almost scared to see the video.
Well, I'm all right, so let's just play the video. Wait, before I play it, didn't you say your favorite weapon was supposed to be a 50 BMG?
Yeah. I love them guns. I love them.
And you say you really want to get a 50 BMG, right?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, look, I also owe you an apology. You remember how I said I don't like cats and I love everybody else that has a cat? It's like, how you say everybody else has the animal but you. I forgot I do have a cat. It's just a stuffed cat.
Oh, okay. See. Uh-oh.
Look, sentimental reasons. No, it ain't your cousin.
She's spoiled. I don't care no matter what happens. You notice she keeps coming in this room, and I got the door open a little bit, but she comes in here, looks for me, and every time I'm on my live, she wants to show up and get on camera.
You know what's also funny? She always shows up when she knows that your feelings are going to get hurt.
I know. Hey, you should see. I got to send you a picture too, Jay, man. Their bowls, their food bowls are your old candles. I use them. That's why I got their water and their food bowls on. So when you remember how you kept saying you can reuse them for different stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we cleaned out the wax. Actually, what we did was we boiled it and got all the wax out, cleaned it out, and that's what they eat out of. The two white ones.
It works well.
It works.
I'm sure it works well.
it works perfect because I'm gonna tell you what these cats do. They have a tendency to knock the bows over. And I kept saying to my lady, I said, we gotta go get some weighted bows. I said, because they keep knocking it over, but those are already glass and they're weighted. So they don't knock the bows over no more because they can't. Because they have a tendency to want to put their foot in. I don't know why they do it, but so it actually, I'm sitting there and I'm like, wait a minute, these things, I said, I got 2 of these empty, they weighted. So those 2 candles that the ones that I did burn through, the bigger candles, I actually reused the bowls. And that's what they
Well, I'm glad you did. And I'm very happy you did, and I'm very glad that it worked out.
Yeah, it did. And they like it. It looks elegant too. They look like they bougie cats.
Well, that's good. The cats are bougie.
Yeah,
so I got to go back to this question about you and the 50 BMG.
Okay.
You want one, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I want you to watch this video and tell me if you're gonna want one after this video, all right?
All right.
What's up, everybody? My name is Scott, and I'm going to tell you about how my 50 cal exploded, and I almost bit the dust about 2 weeks ago. So I know a lot of you are probably wanting me to explain my injuries, and I'm going to do that, but I think it's best we start from the beginning. I know some of you are going to try to skip around in this video. I highly recommend you stay tuned and listen to all of this. But for those who are going to skip around, let me clear something up first. This was not the Barrett that we torture tested, and this was a complete freak accident. There's nothing that I did to have caused this. So April 9th, 2021, we come out here to shoot a fire hydrant with some slap rounds using my Serbu RN50. So we have the Serbu RN50 with the 36-inch long heavy barrel, and we're gonna go ahead and go big or go home and start out with this. This is a 50 BMG slap tracer round. The slap rounds tend to go a little to the right, so I aimed a little to the left, but this one actually hit true to where I was aiming. We hit right here, and you can see that thing is smoking. And then we blew right through the back of this thing. Everything was going pretty smooth. We shot the fire hydrant several times, but the slap rounds were acting a little funny. One of the slap rounds hit like 1.5 feet low and to the right. I say we hit it with one more slap round, but this time aim for the thickest part of the fire hydrant and see what happens. The gun was functioning normally, as it always has. I've been using this gun for a long time now, and I've never had any issues out of it. So before all this happened, we took one last shot, and it was actually really, really cool. The round was stuck out the back of the fire hydrant. This is a 50 BMG silver red tip armor piercing incendiary tracer. So we went through the top of the fire hydrant. Look at that. Oh my gosh. It's just stuck out the back. After that, I decided I was gonna take one last shot with a slap round and try to hit the thickest spot on the fire hydrant. So before I loaded my last slap round, I know that there was no barrel obstruction because I literally found the round in the fire hydrant. But this last round that I loaded into my Serbu RN50 was a very, very hot round, and I had no idea. And there's really no way for me to have ever known that this round was as hot as it was.
Ron, start clutching your pearls, Ron.
So here you can see me taking the last shell casing out, and now I'm loading in the slap round. I screw the cap on all the way, and the gun closes completely, and everything is functioning as normal. And one thing is something someone may mention is maybe I didn't screw the cap on all the way. Well, you can clearly see the cap is screwed on all the way, and this gun actually will not close if the cap is not screwed on all the way. So everything was functioning good on the gun. What I didn't know was the slap round that I put inside it was extra, extra hot. and I had no idea. And there's really no way for me to have ever known. These rounds are extremely rare, and they're very old. They're like $100 a piece. These aren't manufactured anymore, and really there's no way you can really know what's happened to them over time as they've passed hand to hand. I was under the impression that these were genuine military surplus rounds and hadn't been tampered with. So now I'm gonna actually show you what happened. It's not graphic. All the graphic stuff happened after the fact, and I'm gonna tell you all about that, but I am gonna show you what happened just so you can see what happened to me that day.
I just had to make sure that you were there.
That looked like it hurt.
So when I pulled the trigger, the gun exploded almost immediately. So the first thing that went was this cap. And this cap is solid steel, and it is very, very heavy. If you look right here, the threads are sheared off of this gun completely. I spoke with Mark Serbu, and he said that normal pressures are 55,000 PSI. And for those threads to have sheared off and this cap to have just blown off like that, we're looking at over 85,000 PSI. So the cap blows off. It's kind of hard to put these on because of my little nose brace. I'll explain. But safety glasses are on, and this cap, you can see this little crescent here. This cap hit me right there. I'm not really sure which way, probably more like this, but it struck me in the face. When this cap hit me in the face, it broke my orbital bone in 3 spots, here, here, and here. It also broke my nose, and that's why I have this on. I've had to have facial surgery to repair all this. Here's the really bad part though. On this lower, normally there's these 2 ears that stick up right here. And this is what prevents you from closing the gun when the cap's not on all the way. If the cap is on all the way, it will fit perfectly right here with those ears pushed up against it. When the cap blew off the gun, it came straight back, shearing those ears off the lower. One of these is still at the hospital, and this is the one we found. This one zipped right past my head, went inside my hat, blew a hole through it, and took it off my head what appears 7 to 8 feet. Now the other one is what almost ended me. The other ear hit me right here in the throat. It proceeded to lacerate my jugular vein and then punctured a hole in my right lung. As for my hand, my best guess is this is what did it.
So
yeah, his ass whipped by a 50 BMG.
Yeah, he got his ass whipped by a 50 BMG.
I'm joking around, but man, he better be thankful. I'm quite sure he is thankful that he's still alive, man. Because I know 50 Cent looking at him like, I took ain't nothing.
Now, the reason why I showed that video,
right,
and I wanted your true, your understanding behind this, of course. We always are talking about how you should be trained by someone who knows how to deal with weapons,
right?
Firearms, rifles, shotguns, whatever it may be. They need to be trained. We know, again, thanks to Kentucky Ballistics for providing that video. We know that guy, Kentucky Ballistics, he's been firing weapons for years.
Time. Yes.
He's been a trainer for many years. He's fired many weapons. He has a plethora of knowledge behind weapons.
Right.
And even him, he missed. No, it wasn't an old weapon. He missed the key point behind his accident. Did you happen to notice what he did wrong?
I had my speculation on what failed in that gun, but that's just my speculation.
Well, Ron's opinion don't matter, so let it fly.
All right, this is where
he started. You're freezing. Stop from the beginning.
When he started talking about that cat, right, and that it was threaded on there.
Right.
First thing ran through my head. Oh my God, with the freezing. First thing ran through my head was you really paying attention to that thread, and could that have slowly over time started to wear away and you didn't recognize it?
You might have to start that again.
All right.
I'll run a commercial, get out, and come back in.
All right, cool.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Gene Davis coming to you from Anubis Arms. We're here in Oaks, PA at the Oaks Gun Show. My wife Frances, Domingo here at our tables. We're based out of Pennsauken, New Jersey, right on Buzzwood Avenue by Cove Road. We are South Jersey's only black-owned firearm storefront. We also have a gun club. We offer training. We sell firearms, ammunition, and accessories. So come check us out.
Yeah, I'm back. What I was saying is that when he mentioned about that thread on that gun, the cat. Now he said he had this gun for a while. So, and my thought was, could that thread have been wearing out and loosening up over time, and you just didn't realize what was about to happen, and that was that straw that broke the camel's back? That was my first thought, because he started talking about the thread. Now it looked like he put it on there. He probably was on there tight enough. I don't know. That was my first thought. Now, the other thing is 50 BMGs are hot, man. Once you fire one, they are hot.
Yes.
Extremely hot.
Yes.
He probably should have let that gun cool off. But go ahead.
True.
But that was just my take on it. What was your take?
So you didn't feel anything else odd with what he was doing?
I probably missed that part. I mean, other than, I don't know. I would probably have to go back and really watch it closely. But the thing that stood out with me was that thread on the when he started talking about
the cap.
The cap, and I'm like, I know how threads are. You take it off, you put it back on. You take it off, you put it back on. Then you got heat. Every time you fire that gun, that heat, and then the pressure. Then you got pressure. So you doing this over the years. Pressure. And what people probably don't recognize about steel with threads, you might not see it on the surface, but there might have been hairline fractures in the thread that you don't see because it's on the opposite side of what you're doing. And it just took that one time for it to go poof. So he probably should have kept inspecting that gun over time, and he probably just missed that one. What could happen? But
true.
Where's your take on it?
My take from what I was, because that's the second time I watched that video. Honestly,
okay.
Second time. So the first time I watched it, I didn't catch what I'm about to say now. I caught it now when watching it. So what I caught now is when he had mentioned when he fired it, because he had fired, if I remember correctly, he fired it 5 times. If I'm not mistaken. So. I think it was 5 times he fired it with the very last one, the largest bullet that he put in there was 5 times. So here's where I got concerned. He had said that when he fired it the first time, he noticed that the trajectory of the bullet went a little to the left. Then he said when he fired it the second time, it went a little bit to the right. So then he had to maneuver how to fire the third, fourth, and fifth bullet.
Yeah, he had to self-adjust.
So here's where for me, I'm surprised that he didn't catch that possibly the barrel was already bending.
Yeah. Which is going to create more pressure, which is going to be a means of forcing it back to you. Like I said, he said he had this gun for a while.
Right.
So when you say you had something for a long time and you've been using it, a lot of times you start to get comfortable in this reliability that you don't recognize the small, subtle changes that's happening. And I mean, like I said, there was not something that he could have did differently. It's just a freak accident. He's right. But there was probably some stuff going on before that moment that was, again, like we were saying, the warning. Those are all the warning signs.
All the warning signs.
Before that actual destruction came, because the gun started doing stuff that you wasn't used to it doing. That should have been your key moment to say, you know what? Let me put this gun down.
There you go. There you go. And that's what I caught, especially when he turned around and he said that he pulled out the round, or the cartridge rather. He pulled the cartridge out of the barrel because it was stuck.
Right.
And we all know that once you have a barrel, a stuck cartridge, you don't fire that weapon no more. You clean it, you check it, you figure out why it was stuck.
Why it was stuck.
Exactly. And he didn't. He just pulled it out, and then he stuck the biggest bullet in there. So, of course, now, as he said, it was over 85,000 PSI. What were you expecting?
Right.
It was going to happen. It's unfortunate that it happened the way it happened, and gratefully, he did not get unalived on camera. Because when that ear sheared off, yeah, he was real lucky. Because as he showed
some
go ahead.
Now that you bring up that subject, that 458 SOCOM,
right?
Around when I first bought it, I was at the range, an indoor range with it, and I had some ammo that was giving me issues like that. That just, yeah, I kid you not. I had ammo in that gun, and it kept giving me issues with the ammo, and I kept trying to figure out why it kept acting up. And then I figured out that it actually wasn't the ammo. It was actually my clip.
Ah.
But here's the thing. When it did it once, and it did it again, I said, something ain't right. And then I realized that with the clip, something bent on the clip where the ammo wasn't shifting in like it's supposed to, and it was causing it to something like kind of jam for no reason. I took the clip out, inspected the clip. I put the clip away. I replaced it with another clip, and I had no problem with it. But then I had to go back and look at the other clip, and I realized it was something as simple as it had a slight bend in it that was not supposed to be in there. I straightened it out, tried it out, and it was fine. It was no problem out of it. But there's little, small, subtle things like that. You don't realize that it didn't do what he did. It wasn't blowing back, but it just, again, when you have a dysfunction in something that's normally don't happen, stop.
That's right. Stop.
Make sure you consciously figure out what's going on. Don't try to force it, because I could have kept trying to force it to work and could have been turned into something else. It didn't get nothing like what he had. It just, I had to closely inspect everything that was going on and say, why is this doing what it's doing? Once I realized what it was, and I swapped the clips out, of course I cleaned it out, put a little oil in there, swapped the clips out. It's running fine. So I thought it was the ammo, but it really wasn't the ammo. But there was one piece of ammo before I got started, and I looked at it, and it had some imperfection in the ammo, like the shell case.
Right.
That's what caused everything.
So you had a snowball effect.
Right. It was like a snowball effect, and because when I first tried to use it, so I'm looking at the ammo. My first thought was looking at the ammo. When I finally got the one out of there, because it was so jammed in there, it wouldn't come out. When I finally got in there, that's what caused everything. And then once I straightened that part out and got the ammo out of there, everything was fine. I never had an issue out of it since. But my point is that the best thing you can do when you have something that's not functioning like it's supposed to. I've had the same thing happen to my Ruger. Not exactly the same, but the clip, the little plastic part of the clip, when you start to feed it in, the spring under it got bent somehow. So it wasn't functioning up like it's supposed to. So it kept making the gun jam. Of course, I look at the clip and I'm like, all right, something seemed a little like it had like a little tension when I push it down. And then I went and got my other clip and I said, look, they're different. Like the way it's holding in there, it was different. Like if I had them right now, I could show you because I still have the one that's messed up. I couldn't fix it. So I didn't even, I just kept it as okay, this is a learning curve for me. But again, once I swapped the clips out and I ended up having to buy another clip and I just held on to that first one, I said, I'll just hold on to it. But I got something marked that would let me know that that's a bad one. But it's just a learning curve for me because, again, that was early in my days of just kind of getting into firearms. I had to stop. I didn't try to force it to make it work. I started looking at the functionalities of the gun to figure out why it wasn't functioning the way it was supposed to function. And I figured it out and made necessary adjustments. But again, when you're handling firearms, a lot of times little silly stuff like that you think is significant. And then this guy, and this is just my observation of it is, Jay, you asked me a question a while back on one of the shows. You said, how often should you clean your gun?
Right.
And I said, I don't use them as often. I said, but in my opinion, as often as you can. I don't think there's no real number. But I think if you use your gun, you should always inspect the parts of your guns and make sure that they're functional like they're supposed to function or whatever. Clean it, oil it, make sure there's nothing going on with the firearm over time. But again, I wouldn't, he couldn't have predicted that. Like you said, there still was a flu accident.
Nobody can.
But I think there's a lesson learned in that because I know which type of 50 BMG that the 50 BMG that he has is a single shot 50 BMG.
Right.
It's not like it's a magazine fed. You got to take it out, put another one in, take it out, put another one in.
Correct.
So, and the way that it's set up, there's a whole, people don't understand 50 BMG's got a lot of pressure and a lot of heat with them, man. And
a lot of pressure, a lot of heat. That's right. That's right.
And like you said, when he said it was shooting left and it went right, he could have dropped that gun somewhere and bent something and didn't even realize it bent because you can't see it with the naked eye. Anything could have been happening with that gun. So I don't know.
Here comes, and you're right. And here comes the funny thing. And I could be wrong because I've never disassembled a 50 BMG. Right. Yet I have disassembled some other similar weapons. Now I'm sure that your 5.56 SOCOM, you can actually remove the barrel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is there a possibility with your own experience on your own weapon? Because as we talked a moment ago about threads are unpredictable.
Right.
Could it be that the threads inside that 50 BMG, right where the barrel meets the actual feeder, was already loose and or it was starting to shear in a different direction, which means that it forced the trajectory to start shifting from left to right? Because we knew and we saw how he always kept it straight, but the first bullet went left, the second bullet went right. Then he tried to readjust it by lifting it up and lifting it down when he took the shot. And even at that, when you're readjusting during the firing of the round,
right,
it causes it to be unstable because now the pressure is being moved. That's the reason why they and I could be wrong, but that's the reason.
With his being a single shot, these guns are made different than what he has.
True.
Because he has that single shot. And this is why I think when we, like what you were saying, that amount of pressure on a single shot is unlike these. They have a lot of, like, the gases in these guns, so a portion of that gas is recycled.
Yes.
Because that's what allows it to open up and push back and recycle the other one and come back in. You know what I mean? So
Correct,
all of
correct.
the pressure isn't actually in the gun. Some of it is actually released in that process. With
Correct.
that gun, there is no recycle.
Exactly. There is none.
Everything is in there. So
Right.
that's why I'm like, I just think that he didn't pay attention to, it was probably, like you said, those telltale signs was already there. He seen all
He
of the
just-
warning signs. It was a new experience and he didn't know how to react to. And
Exactly.
thank God he's still alive and it wasn't detrimental to his life.
Correct.
But he got
Correct.
messed up.
Got messed up pretty bad. Pretty bad.
He got messed up pretty bad.
And that's and with that, this is the reason why for me, I always try to say to people, regardless on how much you think you know the weapon is just like a horse. You don't know when it's going to do something different. But the moment you see that it doesn't function the way you remember it to be, don't put it down and start all over again. Disassemble it. Look at everything. Check everything. Because you never want to experience your own weapon unaliving you. Let me just put it like that.
Right.
Okay.
I agree.
It's something that a simple, even like with your experience, a simple bend in the cartridge as it's being fed can stop it and possibly have a very, very bad outcome.
Right.
I've seen a Smith & Wesson, if I remember correctly, a Smith & Wesson 45 had a bent firing pin. So of course, the firing pin is supposed to hit dead center of the round. It hit the top of the round, right above dead center.
Right.
And they kept trying. They kept hearing it click, 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 and nothing came out. Excuse me. Put the damn thing down. Stop trying to fire it. Because if it actually bends even further and hits that round is not going to come out correctly because now it's being what they call that a double tap.
Right.
A double tap round.
Yeah,
those are dangerous
in there. And it's also it's expanding the shell casing because it's hitting it in places that it's not supposed to hit.
Correct. Which then, of course, as we saw there, it can actually explode on the inside of the pistol, and the pistol winds up being shattered.
True.
So these are the things that, as you and I, and I'm thankful for you for asking me to be part of your show. This is why we also not only talk about gun laws, but we talk about gun safety and the reasonings behind it, because we want to cover all bases when it comes to guns. Everybody wants to have a gun. Great, granted. All right, no problem. But do you actually follow the necessary rules? Rule number 1, always believe it's loaded.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Rule number 2, always face it downward. Never face it at someone or otherwheres than the floor. And then rule number 3, never, ever, ever take it out of the booth when you're in a shooting range.
I swear you would think that there'll be common sense, but
people,
it ain't. I've had to leave the range because of people like that.
I mean, we watched the video. Right. We've seen how the trainer actually put the gun outside a 3.57 outside the actual booth. Almost lost his life. So we always here on the OG Network Firearm Fridays, regardless on how much we joke around. Ron was gracious enough to create the show. Ron, I appreciate you bringing the show up. I really, really do. And I'm glad that we're able to try to
I'm glad we're doing
educate other gun owners. Because just because you know about the gun that you have and or you think you know, you really don't know. Because you must remember, this is what I believe, and I could be wrong. If you did not build that gun, then you don't know that gun. You didn't build it.
Not really. You had to go through and take that gun apart and look at all of the functionalities of it to even get a good knowledge of what it is and stuff like that. Listen, at the end of the day, there's still a lot that I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And when I was telling those stories that I was telling about the situation, I was younger. And like not younger in age, I'm talking about this is like my beginning phases, but by sheer nature, being somebody that's mechanically inclined, when I understand something's supposed to function a certain way, I'm a problem solver. So my mind always go to solve the problem.
Right.
So when it happened, my mind was like, okay, this is something that I know it ain't supposed to do this. I need to solve the problem. Because if I don't get rid of the problem, I'm not going to be able to enjoy the moment. So I need to solve the problem. So if you're using a firearm and something seems to be functioning a way that you're not used to or you're not understanding, and even if you just have some small speculation, put it down. Put it down.
True.
Don't fire it no more. Make sure it's right. And if you're not sure, get somebody to know so they can help you make sure it's right.
This
you know
is
what I'm
true.
saying?
This is true.
And don't be ashamed to ask for help. Like, don't feel like, you know, I don't know. No, it's okay. Listen, ask for help. Your life depends on it. Don't just assume if you got to get help. Listen, I was younger in that game, and when it happened to the 458, one of the people that worked there, he was there with me. But I figured it out before he can actually figure it out himself. But that's just because I'm inquisitive like that. I'm not. If something ain't looking right, it ain't functioning right, I need to figure out why. Because again, safety measures. I don't want no accident. I don't want no mistakes. I watched enough people on firearms and know that there are other things that could happen and there are things that can go wrong. You know what I'm saying? Always inspect your gun. Look for Listen, it's one thing to clean it up and put oil. Look for this, you know, there could be small fractures in your gun. It's metal. Listen, it's a metal item. Metal can crack, split, and then you put some pressure in there through a firearm, it can break that. I've seen people fire firearm and they fall apart. Why?
Right.
Because you did not inspect the gun. You just assumed that it was okay. And it could be anything can happen.
Correct. And to piggyback off of that, there was a program some time ago that was called Forged in the Fire that they were always built. You know what I'm talking about? Oh my gosh. That show is freaking fabulous. And one of the things I learned about that show, which is actually very, very truthful when it comes to metal, it's, you know, we have to worry about the thing that's called a cold shut, or I think it's called lap. That's when the metal, the steel creates a bubble from heat and or other items, a drop of water on the inside, and it starts burrowing itself into that metal, and it becomes a weak point in that metal.
Right.
Those are the things that can happen to guns as well. Okay, because of course we know that on the inside of the barrel, anybody who knows how to take apart a gun, it has an actual I forgot the name of it just that fast. It has I can't believe I have an old man fart right now. What the hell did we just call it? The
barrel?
No. When you screw on the cap, what the hell was it?
I'm not sure what you're talking about. On the cap of that 50 PMG? Oh, you're talking about the thread.
Thread, that's the word. See, old man fart. So even on a pistol, you have threads because that's what's at the end of the barrel. That's why you screw it on. And a lot of people don't realize it's even like when you watch people putting on a freaking silencer, it threads into the barrel. So those threads get water or moisture because either how it's stored, or if it's in your hip too long, it gets water. Water tends to penetrate steel. It just happens to be that way. It's unfortunate. So that's why they tell you to oil it, because water doesn't play nice with oil. So even with that mannerism, we have to understand that we have to clean the weapons. We have to make sure they're oiled. We have to make sure they don't have any type of oxidation in it, because those brown spots is what makes the actual metal weak. And damn it, I wish he would have figured that out on the third round. When he said that damn round came out and it went to the right, further away, and let's not forget, he also said that one round he shot straight and it went downward. He said it went down towards the fire hydrant.
Right.
So
yeah, I know. I think, like I said, those. And when you got something going like this, that's a telltale sign that maybe you might want to put this down there, buddy,
and find out why the damn rounds are going in the opposite direction of the way you're looking.
Because you might be looking at the gun might be not It just might be something dysfunctional. It could have been a barrel, like you said, the barrel could have been bent a little bit, where more pressure is going on because the bullet can't escape as fast as it normally would.
Right.
And the other thing is that when it went down, all that pressure built up. But if it's pressure going this way, the bullet is not traveling as fast as it would. Being that it's a 50 BMG, that bullet's weighted heavy. So by the time it got there, it already started dropping. That means that the pressure is going somewhere else. It's not going all that way.
That's right.
So
That means
it's a
the
whole
pressure's
lot
not
of.
pushing. Yep.
I mean, I'm
You're
quite
right.
sure over time he probably figured out a lot of that, just kind of analyzing it or whatever. But again,
Well,
the key.
here's a funny thing, man. Here's a funny
Yeah.
thing, and I apologize for cutting you off.
No, you're good.
How long did it take you and I to figure out those 5 different flaws?
I don't know, 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Honestly, most of that we saw it in the moment, but yeah, I'm gonna say 10 minutes. Yeah, but
So
again, I mean,
we're not certified trainers. We're not professionals.
no.
Yet we understand. We respect the guns.
Right.
We respect the weapons, and that's part of actually being a proper gun owner is by respecting the weapon that you choose to actually have.
Yeah,
we saw a 7-year-old boy respect several different weapons.
Right.
Okay, and he understood it. So again, here on the OG Network, Firearm Fridays. Thankfully, Ron from Ron's Opinion Don't Matter and Uncle Jay from the Fantastic Show, we try to educate you on the reasoning of having a weapon. It's not just to show
cat burglars.
Cat burglars. Okay. Let's stop trying to make believe we're John Wick.
Right.
Stop being John Wayne. How about that? Be more like John Wayne instead of freaking John Wick. Know your weapon, learn your weapon, treat your weapon as it was the first time that you ever had one. Every single time you put your hand on it, because you just never know.
Don't take
You
it
really
for
don't.
granted.
Don't
take it
exactly.
for
Thank
granted.
you. Don't take it for
Don't
granted.
take it for
Don't.
granted.
Please don't.
Don't assume. No.
That's right.
Don't assume. No. Because when you start assuming that, I'm assuming that it's not loaded. I'm assuming this and assuming that. When you start assuming, that's where you went wrong. Make
Absolutely.
no assumptions. No.
Make
No 100% that is loaded or not loaded. No,
correct.
That the 100% that this gun is functioning, it's clean. There's no breakage, no broken parts, nothing in there. The barrel's not damaged. I didn't drop this gun or nothing like that. No. Don't assume. Know it.
That's
And
right.
That would be my take on it. Just no. Don't make no assumptions. Like we said, the only assumption that you want to make is assuming that it's always loaded.
That's right. That's right.
Other than that, no.
You gotta
and the
know
only
it.
reason
You
why
gotta
you're
know.
making the assumption is that way you know that it's not low.
That's right. That's right. And I want to just turn around and ask that other gun owners start realizing that teach other people how to break down the gun. Let them see what the inside of the gun looks like. See how the striations work. See how the threads actually thread. Learn how to inspect the threads. Honestly,
right.
I mean, because the same. This may be a little bit too old for some folk. Many years ago, there used to be a little device. Ron, you probably know about this. We could probably talk about it on Sunday. There was a device that you can actually buy at the auto parts store to measure the gap of the actual spark plugs in your car.
Yeah.
So that you always have the proper gap.
Yeah.
So there is something like that does the same thing for the threads on the actual weapon. So I mean, if you really into weapons like that, you should look into knowing how the threads are in your weapon, because
again, showing his age. I'm talking about gap and spark plugs. I know you. They don't even know what he's talking about. When you take your spark plug, you put the gap on, and you gap on. This had to be this much gap. This, you know what I mean? That's for the next show. Make sure y'all come in for that Sunday, 12:00 noon. But we're gonna have I missed that car show. That's gonna be a great.
It's gonna be so much fun. I think that's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's gonna be a whole lot of fun, man. I know not to really change the subject for y'all, but we are gonna have it's gonna be 12:00 noon Sunday. It's gonna be our first episode of Man, I Missed That Car. And we're inviting. You have to be on camera and understand that we're going to invite people in to tell you a story about the car that you own, why you missed that car, related around that, what happened, the experience, why the car meant so much to you. You're experiencing that, and we're going to allow people to come in on the show and tell their experience. I mean, outside of our own personal individual experience, we're gonna open the floor for people to come in live and actually talk about the show. We have to be on camera, fully on camera, no avatars. Sorry, I know some people they don't want to show their face, but this show is. I need to see faces. I need to see reactions. I need to see the emotional. If it's emotional, if it's not emotional, excited, this and that, all of that is necessary to be a part of this part of the show. So if you want to come on the show and you're willing to talk about the car that you own, had, experience, and listen, it don't even have to be about that. It could be about a car you might like that you never got your hands on. Maybe you got a chance to test drive it. So this is my thing is the show is expanded to a whole lot of stuff, but it's centered around vehicles, cars, trucks,
all about cars. That's right. Cars, motors.
Yeah, exactly.
Cars and motors.
12 o'clock noon Sunday will be the first episode of that. I get a phone call from Jay. He's like, "Yo, what's up with them?"
How dare you?
He's like, yeah.
How dare you?
And I'm like,
you just think you're gonna slide that in the OG network and not have me ask what the hell that's all about?
And I was like, oh man. I said, no. I said, man, I ain't want to bother you, bro. Like, you're like, no, you supposed to bother me with that one.
And I was thinking, yeah. I mean, granted, I have my own show to do later on that day, but shit, you bringing up a topic that I could really rocks with.
Yeah, man. And I was like, I had that in my head for a while, and I just wasn't too sure how to, when I was going to do it, whatever. But since we for the moment canceled out the Fracker show, which we might bring it back down the road. I don't know. Right now, I wanted to bring this along the way and get this started, and I didn't get a chance to. So I figured this would be a good time for it, and this is gonna be a good show. It's gonna be a good show. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very, very interesting. Because I know people have attached to that car, and I know we kind of getting off topic, but we get ready to close out the show anyway. So that's why I wanted to bring this part in before we let it go. That I know people own a lot of cars and they got experiences with cars, and sometimes people get very attached to them. Like there's that one car that they wish they wouldn't have never let go, or wish they never sold, or stuff like that. Now here's the thing: I watch a lot of shows where they customize cars. That's like I love watching those type of shows where they build cars, customize cars. Rose, chill out. Jeez, oh my God, she's like a baby, man.
Meow.
Every time I put her down, she just keeps wanting to come back. She just want to be in my face all the time, but it's cool. I'm gonna let you stay until we done. But yeah, it's like so I watch a lot of those shows. People that customize the cars. People like, I don't know if y'all know who Chip Foose is, but he's one of the he's like he does like a lot of the design for cars and stuff like that. He's a big name in the car industry when it comes to custom cars and design stuff. And I used to watch his show, and on that show they used to they was like act like they stole someone's car, and then they would take and redo the car with the family and stuff. But the person they'll act like they not stole the car, but they come up with different ways to get the car from the person and make a big deal out of it. And then the person find out getting their car redone by Chip Foose, who's like, he's probably one of the best car designers out there, in my opinion. Not the best, but one of big name. But I watch those type of shows all the time, and I was like, I always, this is something that's I like to do, and I've owned a lot of vehicles in my time, and I went through a lot of vehicles. I too, man.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a great show, man. And then some of your experiences. The first time you got speeding tickets, all that type of stuff. So this show gonna go a lot of places. Shut up, Jay. This show is gonna go a lot of places with it, so I think it's gonna be a great show. And that's why I named it "Man, I Missed That Car," because I know that everybody has a "Man, I Missed That Car" moment. Yeah, I mean, I know I do. I got a couple of them.
I second that. I second that.
We opening the door
for
anybody that want to come on and talk about that. I mean, other than us talking about different experiences with our vehicles and stuff like that. But it's gonna be a great show. It's gonna be a really good show, man. I really agree. But this is a good show, man. I like what you brought in. I didn't know what to expect, but man, I feel sorry for my man, bro. I mean, I know that was an old video, and I'm quite sure he's fine.
Yeah, it was old. It was old.
Woo.
Again, it's like, you know,
they like, Ron, don't buy no
even
50,
even at this old,
yeah,
and the information is still effective.
Yes.
That's the best thing about it. It's a very effective video,
and it's a learning curve for me. It's like, I don't want that particular gun, but I do want a 50 BMG. So it definitely is a learning curve for me, because you just never know. It kind of woke me up to say, look, you need to maybe take even deeper, pay a little more attention to the stuff that you have too. Don't assume. So
Right.
I ain't gonna
Yeah.
lie to you. Like, it really just looking at what happened to him. And like I said, it's like anything, a car accident. A wheel can come off a car, you don't even know what's going to happen.
That's
It's an
true.
accident.
That's true.
Well,
That's
it was
true.
an accident. But it
That's
just
right.
makes you be a little more conscious of what's going on. I think it was a great topic, man. I'm glad you brought that in. That was really, really good, man. It was an education for me, and I'm quite sure it was an education for other people on the show too.
It was for me too. It was for me too. It was for me.
Now I want two.
It made
Now I want
me
250
remind me
BMGs.
of things.
Now I want 250 BMGs.
Woo.
But here's the thing. Remember we were talking, I said, no, I don't want them single shot ones. And I kept telling you, I said, I don't want that. I want the
You
AR
did?
style, 50 BMG, magazine fed, semi-automatic. No, don't get me wrong. Anything can happen. Doesn't matter what you're shooting at.
Right.
But I know that their design on those guns are made different than that design. That single shot is all of that pressure's in there. But don't get me wrong, that steel that they made in there is very thick. Like, it's not like they short building that gun. I know what gun he had because I've seen him in the gun shows that I had. So I know what he has. I've seen him. I've seen him. The steel is heavy and it's thick steel.
Yeah.
So it's not like they shortcut building that gun. But anything that you use over time wears.
That's right.
And
Wears down.
I think
Wears down.
I just think that gun was his last firing moment, and it just went bad.
And the big takeaway from that is when you see that your weapon is not functioning the way it should, stop, put it down, take it apart, figure it out. Don't keep firing that damn thing.
Don't make an assumption.
I mean,
it could
right.
be hurt. It could
And if
hurt
I'm
you
not
and
mistaken,
my name.
and real quick, the last thing I want to say is, did we not watch a video where a guy said that he couldn't understand why his AR kept jamming on him and he put a bullet through the floor and put a bullet through the ceiling?
Oh yeah.
What was that? So there we go again.
And he didn't
knew
even
that
put
there
it
was
down.
something wrong.
He kept
He
doing the
didn't put
same
it
dumb
down.
thing. He did
Yes,
the
he
same
did.
dumb thing 3 more times.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
He never put the gun down. He just kept doing the same dumb thing.
Yes, he did. And then kept trying to figure out why it was happening. Well, put it down. Stop it.
Boy, I need help.
Whew.
Great show,
Well, that's
brother.
all
Great
Ron.
show. Great
No,
show.
listen. I am humbled that you asked me to be part of the Firearm Show and the OG Network to present these shows. I am humbled that you asked me. And listen, let's keep rocking, brother. Let's keep
We're gonna
rocking.
keep rocking and rolling. It just nothing gonna stop anything. It's a great show. We're doing great things over here. A lot more things are gonna be introduced as time progresses. And you know, we're gonna keep this train rolling. That's all I can say. This train is never gonna stop rolling.
Can I make my plug?
Go.
Can I get a plug in it? Let's not forget about my show either. Okay, I do have my own show, the reaction.
Oh yeah,
videos.
yeah. Go ahead. Plug it.
Right. I got my reaction shows back on. So every Sunday, 2 p.m.
Yes.
is when the reaction shows are on, the Fat-tacular show. So this way you understand why Ron and I tend to collab so frequently, is because we actually are feeding off of each other for our own shows, and one ends, another one starts. So
Yes.
the Fantacular Show is back on with the reaction videos every Sunday, 2 p.m. So after you watch us talk about, man, I missed that car, stick around, get yourself relieved, and come back for some laughs on my channel, the Fantacular
He's
Show.
gonna have somebody getting in. He's gonna have somebody getting in that police car.
Yeah, I'm getting in the
He's gonna
police
be called,
car,
man, I don't want to get in that car.
getting kicked out their house.
Yeah, I'm glad you
Or
brought it
just
back.
straight line.
The reactions. I'm glad you brought back your reaction videos, man. We used to enjoy them. Like when you was doing them before, we enjoyed them, man. So make sure y'all like and subscribe. Subscribe to the Fantacular channel and support what he's doing over there. And never
Same
ever
way
give
at the
up.
OG Network. Support Brother Ron. Support Brother
Yes.
Ron and his channel, please.
Yes.
Because it shows
That
us
way I
that
can
you
buy-
care.
Help me buy cat food, you know. But with that said, we're gonna get ready to get up out of here. Y'all have a blessed, wonderful day. And here's our theme music.
Fuck OG. Firearm Friday show. Step in, we come live. Yeah, OG Network on. Whole room for the vibe. Yeah. Run, talk, let it slide. Opinions don't matter. Keep that mouth closed up when the bass get fatter. Yeah. That tattooer in the cut. Got the whole block jumping. Go to loud laugh. Make the whole night something. Hands up, don't panic. We came for the win. Flow start shaking when the crew walk in. Say it one time and say it again. If you know, you know. We don't need pretend. OG Network.
Fellas, ladies, you looking for lotions, you looking for beard oils, but unfortunately everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it's probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, B-O-T-T-U, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.
So we the loudest in the West. Ron got a lot to say, but we never need that. We in the front row where the real ones react. Fantacular